Shanti Shanti. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityorma mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva Devaki, who gave immense joy and happiness to Devaki, who destroyed Kamsa and Chanura, who were tormenting the people. Shri Krishna, the spiritual teacher of the whole mankind, we shall offer our salutations to him. Let us pray to him to lead us from unreal to real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We have been studying chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita, the yoga of action. The whole Bhagavad Gita is the message of upliftment. Lord Krishna teaches in a very exemplary way how we should conduct ourselves in life, how we should act upon, how we should think. So, the message of Bhagavad Gita is the message of upliftment. It is a message of great hope and assurance to everyone in this universe. And Lord Krishna is showing the way how each one should proceed in life. Raising up or slipping down, both are in our hands. Because we are ignorant of many things, the tendency is to slip down to the bottom. Here comes the timely help and grace by Lord Krishna. He teaches pointedly how to raise up ourselves, not slip down. So we have to view the teachings of Lord Krishna with this attitude. Lord Krishna has come with specific purpose of showing us the spiritual way. So, today I am touching on the topic, turn karma into karma yoga. Every one of us is doing karma. In what way we are doing, that determines our life. If we do karma without thinking and acting properly, it paves the way for more and more bondage, suffering and misery. But if you perform the karma with right attitude, then the same karma can pave the way for spiritual upliftment. So karma is common. Whether to slip down to bondage or rise up to liberation lies in our hands. The whole system is given to us. Mind and senses are given to us by Lord Krishna, the Divine Supreme, so that we know how to play the game. And Lord Krishna has shown us the way. Still, if we behave in a foolish way, we are only to blame. We have to pay very high price for this sort of mishandling our life. The heavy price is suffering and misery. So, when Lord Krishna tells Arjuna to convert his karma, that means action, into karma yoga, Arjuna has a pertinent doubt as to whether the karma which Krishna is enjoining him to do is just another type of ritual or a secular process or technique of doing his jobs. In his mind arises the fear as to whether the new karmas might not also be subject to the usual obstacles in performing them, and if these hindrances will not bring fresh karma bandha, meaning bondage. That was the Arjuna's pertinent doubt. The obstacles that Arjuna has in his mind are abhikramanasha, pratyavaya. What is abhikramanasha and pratyavaya? We should know. A farmer plows the fields. He sows the seeds. He waters and replants the seedlings. In short, he does everything that is to be done for a good harvest. Just before he reaps and takes the paddy to the barn, torrential rain comes and destroys the whole crop. In the hope of getting this harvest, he had worked for 3 to 4 months. Very hard work. The progress was orderly till the last. But suddenly, due to an unforeseen circumstance, all his efforts came to naught. This type of obstacle is called abhikramanasha, the complete perishing of a nearly completed job. A father raises up his son lovingly, gives him good education in the hope that he will turn out to be a useful citizen of the country. The young man unfortunately falls into evil company and becomes a disgrace to his parents. Here, the result that you get is just the opposite of what he expected to get. This is pratyavaya. One is abhikramanasha, the second one is pratyavaya. Any secular or ritualistic action is often subject to these obstacles. From Valmiki Ramayana, we can find instance about abhikramanasha and pratyavaya. Lakshman and Indrajit were fighting valiantly for a number of days with none in sight of victory. One day, during the fight, Indrajit suddenly disappeared and did not turn up for some days. Sri Rama's people were wondering what had happened to Indrajit. Vibhishan said that Indrajit must have started a yaga, a fight sacrifice, to attain some mighty power, reinforced with which he would be invincible. So, unless the yaga was obstructed immediately, Lakshman stood no chance of winning over Indrajit. So, Hanuman and his team of monkeys, Vanaras, went to the Yagashala, place where Indrajit was performing yaga, challenged Indrajit for a fight, and succeeded in obstructing the yaga. All the efforts which Indrajit had put in for the past many days were thus wasted. This is Abhikramanasha. And any ritualistic or secular action is subject to it. Now, Kumbhakarna was doing tapas with the idea of asking Brahma, by my mere willing, Devatas should perish. That was his intended desire for doing tapas. His intention was there should not be any Devatas left. Niddevata. Niddevatva. Well, the Devatas became apprehensive of his intense tapas and his bad motive. So they went to Goddess Saraswati and asked her to help them in some way. So, when Brahma appeared to grant boons for Kumbhakarna, who was doing intense tapas, what did Kumbhakarna ask? Instead of saying Niddevatva, Goddess Saraswati made him say Nidravatva. Nidravatva, which means eternal sleepiness. The result which Kumbhakarna attained was entirely the opposite of what he wanted. This is Pratyavaya. One is Abhikramanasha, the other one is Pratyavaya. Any action being often subject to these two hindrances. Arjuna has a doubt that the action that Lord Krishna might prescribe may also lead to such contrary results. So Lord Krishna clears his doubt. Neha Abhikramanashosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Swalpa muktasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Chapter 2, verse number 40. Arjun, the method I am prescribing to you is absolutely free from the above obstacles. It is not a new system of karma, but a new type of dharma. The very karma which otherwise binds you may, by a change in the inner attitude, be made to liberate you from the chain of births and deaths. Even a little bit of this dharma, when practiced, releases you from the greatest fear of poverty, disease and death. In short, all worldly afflictions. Whatever actions we perform, fixing our aim on moksha, are reinforced by an invisible power. When we no longer cling to the result, our minds become clearer and clearer. There is no conflict and confusion here. Because the mind is clear, the actions emerging from us are 100 times more effective. As you go on practicing, you will realize the improvement in the very nature of your actions. Not only are your material and secular lives made happier and fruitful, but each day brings you nearer to moksha. Lord Krishna says, it is not a new action or a new ritual that I am asking you to do, but do the same action as you have been doing hitherto without attachment. Attachment to the result reduces your efficiency. You are now engaged in a dharma yuddha, righteous war. Make this very battlefield a yajñashala by offering all your actions unto the Supreme Being. Have equanimity, samabhavatva, outlive sukha and dukkha. You are upset now by fear rising out of the clinging you have for the result. A clear idea of the objective you aim at must be there in your mind as I must remove the evil Duryodhan and his wicked brothers from the face of earth. But do not have an attachment to the result. Then what is now bothering you will cease to bother you. Sri Krishna is giving this message not only to Arjuna, but to every man and woman facing the battle of life. For each and every one, the world is a laboratory to experiment on Vedanta. You will see that the very obstacles prove helpful to you. Whether one is a scavenger cleaning the streets, a mother in the kitchen, a servant, a clerk, or a businessman, one can become a karma yogi. Start converting the very karma you are performing into karma yoga. Life in the world will then be a blessing in disguise to you. Don't forget the Vedantic secret that palachinta, thought of the result of action, is different from palasandhi, attachment to the result of action. Palachinta is different from palahisandhi. The farmer will be there when man or even animals act. It is natural, it doesn't bind, but the latter is the binding adjunct that should be removed. For that is the paining and upsetting factor. Lord Krishna says further in chapter 2 verse number 41, Vyavasayatmika buddhirekeha kurunandana bhushakha hyanantascha buddhayo vyavasayanam. In the realm of karma yoga, the factor of prime consideration or value is vyavasayatmika buddhi. That means one-pointed determination. By a proper analytical approach, fix for yourself the ultimate aim of life as to what you really seeking and stick to it. What is life? It is a succession of transient, ephemeral sukhas and dukkha's. What do you want in life? Peace. Are you getting it? No. How to get it? The answer is given by Vedanta, which says detach yourself from both sukha and dukkha. And remain in samabhava. Detach yourself from pain and pleasure and remain in equanimity. Mukti alone will give you lasting peace. So attach yourself to the aim of mukti. give a turn to the attachment. Instead of attaching towards the things of ephemeral nature, we attach to the divine. So Shri Krishna is showing us the way how to sublimate all our qualities and attitude. Determine that the purpose of life is to attain Jivan Mukti, to attain liberation while still I am living. That should be the goal. When this one-pointed determination has taken roots in you, about 3/4 of the karma yaga practice is over. Karma yaga, it's called. With the attitude of doing everything as a sacrifice, more than half the battle has been won. This one-pointed determination has to be acquired by properly analyzing life and by reinforcing one's wisdom with Vedantic knowledge. In this life, I am not happy. There is only one way to overcome these fleeting sukhas and dukkha's, by seeking mukti. I will use this very life, which now gives me misery, for attaining liberation. This determination is vyavasayatmika buddhi. Now, what's a lot of the people who do not have this one-pointed determination about the purpose of their life? Since their goal is not fixed, their buddhi, intellect, the determining inner factor, will be split up into so many different directions. Their energy will be wasted in pursuing various transient aims. It will drain off in different shallow channels. If I ask such a person, what is the aim in life? His answer will be somewhat like this. I have 2 kids. I am going to make one of them an engineer, and the other a doctor. Besides, I have a daughter to be married. I am looking for a right match for her. After my sons graduate and get good jobs, I want to marry them to girls coming from rich families. After the sons and the daughter are properly settled, my wife and I will retire to the village to spend the rest of our lives quietly, peacefully in Vanaprastha-ashrama. With so many different aims, all worldly, he dissipates his energy. He thinks once he has settled all his children to his liking, he will have peace. First of all, his plans may not turn out exactly as he wants them. There is many a slip between the cup and the lip. One of his sons may not study well, the other may not obey his parents, or one may become a victim to some dreadful disease. The man will get upset by these. His old age will be spent either nursing his sick son or licking his own mental wounds. No peace for him. Even supposing all his plans turn out well, and he goes to the village to lead a Vanaprastha-ashrama, since he has not rid himself of raga-dvesh, he will be swayed by petty likes and dislikes and selfish aims, and will have no peace. Instead of being a bird soaring high in the sky of peace, he will be brooding in his own nest of disquiet. This is the fate of everyone who has no vyavasyatmika buddhi, one-pointed determination as to the aim of his life. So, how important it is that we should cherish vyavasyatmika buddhi, vyavasayatmika buddhi, one-pointed determination. If he had that one-pointed determination, even if his sons did not turn out well, he would think sukha and dukkha are fleeting. Pain and pleasure are fleeting. It's impossible to have happiness alone. Misery must accompany it, as darkness accompanies light and bad accompanies good. Sukha and dukkha are just two movements, projections within. I must transcend them both and cultivate equanimity. Otherwise, he would be afflicted and affected by his dukkha, but now he goes beyond them, outlives them. So, develop one-pointed determination. Make up your mind that you will attain mukti in this very life and work for it. If not, you will have split aims. You try to fulfill them one by one. In 90 cases out of 100, they will betray you. You get upset. And instead of learning a lesson from that betrayal, you are again after another aim. It will be just a wild goose chase. After hearing so far, Arjun's mind becomes totally changed. He thinks within himself, I never thought in my life that there is such a wonderful Vedantic way of living, by which I can outlive Sukha and Dukkha, even transcend the whole worldly life and be full of bliss. I must attain this Ananda. Lord Krishna goes further on to say, Yavanartha udapane sarvata samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. Chapter 2, verse 46. Arjun, if you cultivate this Vedantic perfection, you will attain a state which is wonderful, transcendental. You will come to the Brahmajnana state. In comparison to the Ananda, happiness accruing from it, the happiness that is concomitant, coexistent with that state, the pleasure that things of the world give is very, very, very little, infinitesimal. If you submerge yourself in a lake full of fresh, clear, clean water, will you require a glass or cup to draw water or drink it? Is there any necessity to store up water for use? Whenever you require to drink water, you can just open your mouth and drink directly the clean water. So also, the Brahmajnani is full of bliss, Ananda, happiness. He is such a Nitya Tripta, ever contented, that he has no use for the objects of the external world. He is so full of knowledge that there is no necessity for him to know the lesser things or lesser sciences of the everyday world. He is so contented and at peace that he has no need for the ritualistic religion which he has transcended already. He is in such a transcendental state that compared to it, even the emperorship of the whole world is nothing. For such a one who has attained the pinnacle, the climax of Brahmajnana, everything in the relative world is tuchha, insignificant. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalahetur bhurmate sangostva karmani. Chapter 2, verse 47. You perform your actions. Many people interpret the first line as, you perform your actions, but you have no right to the result or fruit thereof. The crooks, thieves, black marketeers, and all such people can use this shloka to justify their actions. A race goer may go to the races, tie his money to the tail of a horse and lose all of it. To make his actions seem right, he may say, Karmanyeva adhikaraste. You have only the right to act and not to the result thereof. So don't worry. So saying, he justifies his squandering away the money in the race. It is just a devil quoting the scriptures. The actions and enterprises of such people are propelled by likes and dislikes, rag and dvesh. Shankara says in a place, phalam anuddishya na mandopi pravartate. The nature of beings is such that without thinking of the result, even an idiot does not act. It is true. Call an idiot to your house to take food. He undertakes the act of walking to your house only because he knows the result of it, that he will get food at your house. When a cow is untied from its stable for grazing, it leaves the stable knowing that it is going to graze to fill its stomach. When even a fool or an animal does not act without thinking of its result, can you expect a wise man to act without thinking of it? It is impossible, unnatural, artificial, and against human nature, Prakriti. Without having an idea of the result, no action can be undertaken, and when the result comes, it cannot be thrown away. Why? Because every action will have its reaction and result. Even if you don't want the result, it will necessarily come. Any action will have to bear fruit. This is the law of nature. So we see that the above interpretation is meaningless. To understand the correct import of this stanza, you will have to connect it with the previous one, Yavanartha Udapane. Krishna has said that for a God-realized soul, a man of Brahmanubhuti, even heavenly enjoyments are totally insignificant compared to the joy of the inner Anubhuti, the Ananda of Brahmajnana. When Krishna extolled the state of Brahmajnana so much, Arjun thought that that is the right time and opportunity for him to put forth his case. He thought, compared to Brahmajnana, if attaining anything else is nothing, why should I fight for this paltry kingdom? Should I not sit and meditate and be a jnani? Earlier Arjuna had said, if I stand unarmed, throwing away my bow and arrows, not fighting, the Kauravas will surely kill me. That will be better for me. So Arjuna was all for either running away from the battlefield or to allow himself to be killed. This was not real Vairagya. There are two kinds of temporary Vairagyas, Smashana Vairagya and Purana Vairagya. Man reads the Puranas, thinks he has realized the futility of worldly life and has a sort of Vairagya. The other type is the Vairagya developed on seeing a dead body burning during cremation or seeing some physical suffering. Immediately there is a shock, a reaction. You start thinking that the world is useless and transient. This Vairagya remains only for a short while till the shock created subsides. Real Vairagya cannot be had as long as the raga and dvesha, likes and dislikes, that attach us to the world are still with us intact. Unless raga and dvesha are completely annihilated, we cannot have true detachment from the external world. This apparent detachment is only a dvesha buddhi, a feeling of dislike or disgust coming in the garb of dispassion. When you see a dead body burning, you are reminded that your own body will burn like that one day. Due to the attachment you have for your body, you have a disgust at the very idea of its burning. It depressed you. It is thus a disgust and not dispassion. That is beyond your Vairagya. That is behind your Vairagya. Krishna realizes the true nature of Arjun's Vairagya and hence gives out this shloka. The opening words are, your competency is for karma nishta alone, not for jnana nishta. Karmanyevadikaraste natu karma phalam. Jnana nishtayam. Your competency is for karma nishta alone and not for jnana nishta. Karmanyevadikaraste natu jnana nishtayam. Why? O Arjun, only those who are free from raga and dvesha, attraction to and repulsion from the world, can have true vairagya and can retreat to the forest to meditate. Are you free from raga and dvesha? I know you properly. All your actions so far have been motivated by raga and dvesha. You did intense tapas for 30 years. Why? To get Pashupatastra, a deadly weapon from Lord Shiva. Even that tapas was undertaken with raga, a desire to get the weapon. You have spent these last 13 years thinking of nothing but how to avenge your cousins and get back the lost kingdom. This is again raga and dvesha. You then entered the war determined to kill all the Kauravas because of raga, for getting the kingdom, and dvesha for the cousins. You thought by getting the kingdom you will get peace and sukha. Every action of yours has been propelled, motivated by raga and dvesha all these years. But having come here, now you realize that to win the war you have to kill Bhishma and Drona. An obstruction has been created to the easy fulfillment of your desire. This reaction is presenting itself in the form of vairagya. Even now you want the kingdom, but you find you cannot get it without killing Bhishma and Drona. You have in you a dvesha in doing something which you think will give dukkha. This is not true vairagya. A man who has had so much raga and dvesha all these years as you cannot in a moment overcome them. Your duty now is to overcome this raga and dvesha right in the field where they have arisen. Where exactly is your raga and dvesha now? It is in fighting this war. Outlive it right in this field. With your present mental attitude, you are fit only for karma yoga and not for the jnana nishtha. Moreover, a doubt as yours will never have arisen in the mind of a true vairagi. He will not consult anybody as to whether he should go to the jungles. The moment he has the vairagya, he will just walk off without a second set of clothes. Your very doubt proves that you have not reached that state. Your competency is only for action and not to relinquish it and go away. The very karma you are doing with raga and dvesha, do it now without raga and dvesha and do not hanker after the result. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Don't be attached to the results of actions. This is the way to get rid of raga and dvesha. Ma karma phalehetur bhuhu. Let not the force propelling your action be the desire for the result of action. Do your work properly, but let not the picture of the result stand in front of you constantly. Mate sangostva karmani. Do not attach yourself to inaction either. Keep yourself active always. In the 18th chapter, a wonderfully scientific analysis is made out. How our actions take place and the way in which the results come. Chapter 18, verse number 14 and 15. Adhishtanan tata karta karanancha pratagvidam vividhascha pratakcheshta daivam saivatra panchamam sairavang manobhiryat karma prarabhate naraha nyayam va viparitam va panchayate tasya hetavaha. Whoever he be, whatever actions he may perform, there are 5 factors that govern the attainment of the result of each of his actions. The action may be physical, mental or verbal. What are the 5 factors? 1. Adhishtanam, ground or background. Second, karta, the doer. Third, karanam, the instruments used in action. Fourth, cheshta, the process of action. And 5, daivam, the invisible factor which has a power over all our actions and over which we have no control. Let us take an example, say growing vegetables in a garden. First, the ground or field is necessary. Secondly, a man who knows how to prepare the ground and how to grow the vegetables. Thirdly, seed, water and different instruments to prepare the soil are necessary. Fourthly, the working process. Unless you know the correct method of growing vegetables, all the above factors will not be of any use. Even if all the above 4 factors are to our utmost satisfaction, there is yet another factor that governs the result. It is the invisible factor beyond our control. You have done your part properly. The vegetables have grown well, and before you pluck them, a cyclone comes and uproots everything. So, even if you perform your part well, yet the result may or may not come. The possibility of our not getting the desired result may be small in some cases and big in others, but it is always there. So, what should be our attitude to our actions and the results they desired? We should perform our part, the first 4 factors well and properly. We should allow always for the 5th factor operating. Whether the desired result comes or not, we should be equanimous and poised. Here is the difference between a karmi and a karma yogi. Take the example of bringing up the children. The karmi will have all sorts of desires about his son. He must become an engineer, for engineers are very much in demand now. He must get a very highly paid job. He must marry a rich girl and so on. Thus he goes on imagining and gets attached, glued to the result he expects and desires. When there is this excessive desire and attachment in our heart, there is always a negative force operating within ourselves. When one prays, "O God, make my son pass his examination," the prayer arises only because there is a strong negative feeling within him that the son will not pass. So our mind is tossed between these conflicting forces. Such a mind is full of confusion, fears, upsets and disturbances. The action of a man with such a mind are confused. He disciplines his children artificially to suit his dreams about them. The son may be weak in mathematics, yet the father somehow or other gets him admitted in an engineering college. The very first year the son fails. The father complains, "Oh God, have you no eyes? Are you blind?" He consults astrologers about the son's horoscope, and according to their instructions propitiates Shanideva or Shukra, who happens to be in the wrong place. Again he sends his son to the engineering college, and son again fails. The father is again upset and puts his son into the law college with no better results. All these 20 years or so, the father did not have any peace of mind, imagining all sorts of things for his son, and now he is miserable that his plans did not materialize. Not only that, he has spoiled his son's future too. Suppose the son did not turn out to be a fool, but became an engineer. Even then, the father is not happy because he did not get a first division. In his imagination, he is so irrational and unreasonable that the results are never up to his expectations. His life is a series of recoils, bumps and upsets. How will a karma yogi act under similar circumstances? His attitude will be, I have got control over only 4 of the 5 factors. I will do my part as best as I can. If the results are to come, they will certainly come, whether I worry about them or not. If they don't come, then also I don't care. I will not let the result affect my samabhava, equanimity. I will outlive both pleasure at getting success and pain at not getting it by my samabhava. So, being unattached and knowing the technique of karma yoga, he performs his part perfectly, dexterously. Instead of bringing up his son in an artificial way, he will put him forth in a field in which the son has a genuine interest and liking. He will help his son develop according to his own nature and inclination. Having a clear insight, his action almost never misfires. Even supposing it does, he is not worried or upset, for he is not attached to the result. He thinks, I have done my duty well. If the result has not come, it is not my fault, and it is beyond my control. What's the use of my being upset about it? A karma yogi also has an idea of the result, but he does not cling to it. Thinking of the result is one thing, and being attached to the result is another. Attachment is a thing to be left. A karma yogi, therefore, is not attached to the fruits of his actions. He is not motivated. Karma in Matya Sangostva Karmani means only action we undertake. It doesn't mean Vedic karma, rituals. Karma according to Gita is not simply rituals. Any change, movement, chalana of the body, mind or indriyas is karma. Breathing, eating, excreting are all actions. We cannot live even for a short time with complete inactivity. I think I should stop here. We have consecration of phase 1 of Sri Ramakrishna temple on Sunday, July 1st. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self drowned deep in the waves of his bliss, tasting his nectar at every step, bathing in his name that both are various souls. Various are thy names, O Lord. In each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy. How huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or attaining, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man, this world's fearful ocean, is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years. When my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt. For thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy. May all be free from disease. May all realize what is good. May none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bonds. May the freed make others free. May good pervade all people. May the sovereign righteously rule the earth. May all beings ever attain what is good. May the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time. May the earth be blessed with crops. May all countries be freed from calamity. May holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the deciding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe being satisfied.